Well, I thought we made advancement in camp. I thought we sustained energy in camp. We were able to stay relatively healthy. Obviously, we got a couple of we've taken a couple of losses that way, but on the whole, I feel good about where we are in terms of our health and spirit and enthusiasm. I thought early in camp was about establishing that identity, that total effort, a level of toughness. We had to work our way into that. I think here later in camp, it's become about finding mastery in the fundamental technical skills and in the schematics or the tactics, and I've seen advancement that way. I think I'm excited. I think anytime you're excited about something, there's an element of the unknown. We have a young team, a team that has new members that are now acclimated, but we've yet to be tested in a game, and so that's the nature of college football. We're going to learn a lot about where we are. A week from tomorrow, but I'm pleased with the work the guys have put in. I think our players have worked really hard to make this a great camp for us. I think our coaches have worked really hard, and now it's time for us to dial in to our game plan and shift to a level of focus that allows us to find success.
Did Mike show you what you wanted to see in this camp, start to finish?
He did. Look, anytime you're dealing with a young player, there's going to be good days and bad days, and mistakes made, and we got to learn from mistakes. One of the biggest things that I wanted him to do was relax and play and not sweat those things. And that's one reason you name a starter in the summer, is to try to alleviate some of that feeling of competition. I think he's positioned well for success next Saturday. I think we need to just dial into the specifics of the plan. And anytime you're playing against a team with a new coaching staff and a new identity, a lot of new players, a part of his success is going to be adjusting and adapting in the moment. So, we have to prepare him for that. We will, but I've been pleased with his progress so far.
Is there a more unique situation opening the season in Hawaii? You're spending a week out there. How do you take into account for all of that as you prepare?
We talked this morning. We got to narrow our focus here. Focus on less. Right now, we got to focus on this trip on Sunday and beating the trip. Then we have to beat the week, which means we're going to have activities, we're going to do community service, we're going to do some things that will build into us, but we also can't allow them to serve as distractions. We have to beat the preparation, meaning we have to maintain a level of focus through the week, and then it'll be about beating the environment, which it'll be a harsh environment, and then making sure our team has self-mastery. And all that lines up to then say we can focus our attention on Hawaii and unleashing our preparation that way. But we can't skip steps this week. We're going to have to, our team's going to have to be mature and handle it the right way, and I'm trusting them to do that.
How do you feel about the offensive line?
I feel good. I think they've Coach Bozik's done a great job. I think the player leadership in that room, the connectivity in that room, I've been pleased with how they've performed. I think we're way ahead of where we were a year ago. As we move, obviously, part of playing O-line in the SEC is you're gonna block the nation's best, and so there's a lot yet to be tested in terms of just sustaining a level of chemistry and communication and execution. But these guys have a way better feel for system. They have a way better feel for each other. There's way tighter lines of communication, and I think they're operating with an identity, a spirit of toughness, which is always a good thing.
Davis, good to go?
Is
Running
that
back?
Ray Davis?
Yeah.
He is. Yeah, he's great. He's had a good camp. I think, you look a year ago in spring, and I don't remember how many backs we had. It was like 2 or 3, and they got beat up a year ago in the spring, and then in the fall, obviously he came into the fall kind of just beat up a little bit. It's been nice to see him have the full year to recover. He's had a great camp, and that position group's a strength for our offense. We're excited for them to have the opportunity to go play.
How does Mike's voice and exuberance help this team?
Well, he's got a dynamic, a magnetic personality. I think, again, anytime you're dealing with 18 to 22, you're always growing leadership, and so when he's dialed in to a message, when he's dialed into the moment, he could be as good as anyone I've been around in terms of rallying that emotion, that spirit in the moment to move a unit forward. But playing that position is is maintaining that voice when you're dealing with your own disappointment, your own frustration. And that's where I want to continue to see growth and maturity. Again, he's not all the way there yet, but I don't judge him for that. I mean, I think that's part of growth, and so we got to help him to that. And certainly he's responsive to our messages, and I think he desires to be great in that role.
Injuries at the star position. You had the Capers one. You got a couple other guys that missed some time. How do you handle that for week one?
Well, we will have a healthy group to put on the field against Hawaii, and I'm excited about, obviously we returned some experience there with Owusu, but you've had BJ and Darren step up as younger players in ways that get you excited about seeing them out on the field too. And that, again, that's why last year's that first class was so important. We knew we needed to supplement depth. We hated losing Miles. Obviously I was so excited for him to experience the fruits of all his labor. I mean, he's worked as hard as anybody in the program, but we have to have a next man up mentality, and it happens to be with younger players for us, and it's a great opportunity for them. You recruit to the message of coming in and having an impact, and sometimes that happens, and other times it doesn't. I think both Darren and BJ have demonstrated a readiness for that role. That doesn't mean they're not going to make mistakes, but when you play freshmen, you're gonna have flashes of what is to be, and then you're gonna have times where you have to coach through errors, and we'll have the patience to do that with them.
Good. What are the things that you need to work on most in this point?
Yeah, I think the improvement for me is really just accuracy. Accuracy in the pass game, as far as just down the field throws, medium routes, short game routes, just accuracy. I think that was a level of focus for me, and that goes into relationships with receivers and timing routes and and such. So I think as far as just me now, it's just preparation, game prep. Who we're playing, how can I get this team ready to play whoever we're playing. So this focus for me is now on Hawaii. So I mean, we're getting ready to make that trip out there, and so just ensuring that I'm ready, that the offense is ready, that this entire team is ready to go out there and play at our highest level. So as far as right now, that's where my main focus is.
Kind of a unique situation, huh? Traveling out to Hawaii to open the season.
Yeah, I think some you don't really get to experience a whole lot. So I know we're excited to go out there, and like I said, we take it game by game. We focus on every game. Ours just happens to be all the way across America. So I know the guys are excited, and like we'll go out there a week early, get acclimated, and so it's still a business trip. As crazy as it sounds, we're gonna go out there and we're gonna go play football, and we're gonna get on the flight and come back home. So
how important is it to have a good showing to open up the season for this team? Just
Yeah,
kind of set the tone.
I think it's important for us just because that's what our goal is. I mean, it's not so much a showing for everybody else, but a showing for ourselves. So we're excited to get out there. We've had tremendous practices. I mean, we've grown so much, and so, but still we're not complacent. We know we can take another step. We know we can reach another level. So it's important for us just to play at our highest level. And so I mean that's what we want to do, and that's what we are going to do. So I'm excited for it.
What do you think are the biggest strengths of the offense as a whole?
Oh my goodness, I think it's just how close we are and how connected we are. The ability to where I can look at a receiver and he knows exactly what I'm thinking, I know exactly what he's thinking. Same as far as just communication between the O-line and the running back. So not even as far as like scheme, it's just the relationships that we've built. I mean, you can just see us play and it just looks like we're together because that's what we are. So we're together as an office and unit, and so I'm just ready to go out there and put some points on the board and play real football. So
does this fall a little easier for you since they named you the starter to start camp?
I wouldn't necessarily use like easy or hard. If anything, it's just kind of just playing football. I mean, it's just kind of like you don't know where you're going to end up on a depth chart. You don't know how things are going to kind of shake up. The only thing you can really do is just focus on the controllable. So that's kind of who I am. The level of preparation is still there, no matter any place on the depth chart. I think if anything was just different, it's just I was going out there first. But the preparation piece has always been there. I'm still preparing the same as when I walked in the door at Vanderbilt. So, like I said, I'm really excited just to go out there and just play and cut it loose.
Asking Coach about the depth of the run game this year and this fall. It's a lot. He says a lot better than it was last year, especially with Ray. What have you seen from him?
Oh my goodness. Talk about he's talented. He's really talented. And what most people don't know and you won't see just looking, he's a really smart guy. So he understands what's going on in our system. He understands a whole lot. So as far as just he's almost like an extra quarterback out there because he's thinking. So as far as just having him there out there in the backfield and his ability to spread out and get downhill, and I think that's what our entire running back room. We have 4 down backs, guys who can go first down, second down, and third down, fourth down, and you can swap any one of them out and you won't miss a beat. So I'm excited for that group. I'm really excited for that group, and I'm excited for them to kind of cut loose and get out there. So.
Have you looked at the itinerary for what you guys are doing? What are you most excited about?
Yeah, I know. I think one thing, we're gonna take a trip out to Pearl Harbor, and so that'll be as far as just like informational, just learning. That'd be one thing that I can't wait to experience and learn about that. And I think just whenever you're in a different place with the guys on the team, just you're around family. We'll soak it in. We'll enjoy our time there. Like I said, our main thing is kind of just football. So I mean, we'll get acclimated. That's our main thing, is getting acclimated to the time change. It's a 5-hour difference, and that's a big difference. So that's our main kind of focus, and then everything else to kind of fall into place, and we'll enjoy our time.
Have you watched much of Hawaii on film, and how hard is it because they just turn over so much of that roster?
Yeah, I've watched a lot of Hawaii film, and kind of like you said, I think they have right around like 50 new guys on the team. So as far as just personnel, and it's a little bit of a guessing game, but we've been watching a lot, and that's top to bottom, offense, defense, and special teams. And so I know our staff does a great job as far as film study and getting us prepared and getting us ready. And so we'll continue to do that all the way up until game day. And so that level of focus to be there as far as just the preparation piece, and we'll be ready to go.
Thanks, Mike.